Hello there. John and Danik here from Classified Moto in Richmond, Virginia. Tonight on Restricted, we'll be serving up some sweet sounding Yamahas, becoming better listeners, and learning that beauty is in the ear of the beholder. We sure have missed you. Come on inside.
Okay, we've got the Ducati now. Here's startup, idle, rev, and take off. And stall. FC07 wheelie, take one.
A big request that we've gotten in the comments on YouTube and other places is that people want to hear the bikes more. We have cool soundtrack on the show and the visuals are amazing, but they want to hear the bikes.
Yeah, dog, that was good.
You know, for a while I was like, well, we don't have enough people to do that all the time, you know, so you get what you get. But then we really wanted to do one episode that was just dedicated to hearing the bikes and what they really sound like. When we're shooting Restricted or any of the other videos we do, the sound is actually a really tricky thing to do well. It's raining right now. I don't even know if you can hear that, but even that comes out, you know, when you're trying to record something. There's always some kind of challenge with the sound and the picture, really, when you're around town shooting on the fly.
That's a big thing of filming the show, is finding somewhere to record it, and there's not a lot of just shut down roads that anybody can just go film on. So it's inevitable that there's traffic or a garbage truck or
box turtles
or construction or something like that, and that just adds to all the other challenges that we're having. Wind is our biggest enemy from an audio standpoint. We've tried several things to get good audio. We've tried boom mics pointed at the bike. We've tried hiding the mic on the bike somewhere in one of the bags or under the seat or even in someone's jacket pocket, and it's always the wind. It's the worst part. One thing we've really realized in this episode is how important the sound man's job is, and it requires a lot of skill. And they're kind of the unsung hero. I have a whole new respect for the sound guy.
All right, go ahead.
So before we build the exhaust, John and I used to decide on what it's going to look like. And my tendency always to make it longer and crazier, more sweepy, wavy, whatever. I freaking love making exhaust. It's my favorite part of the bike. And every time I get a chance to do pie cuts, you know, when you slice them on the certain angles and you can route it in a cool way, I think that's pretty awesome. Sometimes John tames me and like, okay, we're just gonna route it here on the bike and have a shorty muffler, you know, and it totally makes sense. But I always appreciate the times when he just lets me make the craziest set of pipes I can.
Once Danik gets it laid out so it clears everything it needs to clear, the suspension and all that. The next step is where can we fit baffling in to quiet it down? But a lot of times it's just sort of a crapshoot. I don't know how everybody else does their exhaust, but you know, we're not a huge company, so we don't have like a whole research and development facility. It's basically just run it so it looks like it's gonna flow well and then try it out. I give Danik direction up front on how I think the exhaust should look, and I think he appreciates my point of view. But then I also want to give him some notes about how it sounds, because it's not cool to have a really cool looking bike and have it sound weak, so I'll be like, just make it sound kind of like... And then, you know, when you're coming down, like I like it when it sort of backfires, like. So that's kind of our process. It's not super scientific, but it's, you know, it makes sense. The first time you fire up a bike is always really exciting around here because you don't really know whether it's gonna even start at all. sometimes, but when you really get out on the road and you can just really open it up, that's always amazing.
When you roll on the throttle, you like just have this immediate feedback of sound and vibration through the bike too. So you have a lot of your senses being stimulated. You get this rush and run through you when you hear that sound and you feel the bike pull. I think that's pretty awesome.
The sound that motorcycles make does something to people. It's like they get on a bike and kind of rev it up, and then they all make the same kind of goofy face, which I think is awesome. And I make it myself when I'm watching them have a good time. I'm not sure exactly what it is about revving the throttle, but it always seems to turn people into like little kids. I think when I first got into this business, the main thing I was into was the actual build and how that looked. But nowadays, my favorite part is just watching people's reaction to the stuff we're doing and to motorcycles in general, because I feel like things seem like they're always so heavy, or they get, people get stressed out. And I just like it anytime I get a chance to kind of be silly, or you give somebody the chance to just kind of feel light, I think that's what really does it for me these days. We love having people over to the shop to show them bikes, and they always get kind of excited. And then, you take them for a ride, or you teach them how to ride. And it's just this thing you kind of can't explain. Their whole mood changes. It's one of our favorite parts.
How's it feel?
Awesome.
All right, good job.
It was the strangest thing I've seen. He was a man about 17, 18, 19, 20 years.